When you're entering university and need to choose a career path, you hope it'll be something that makes you happy. Sam McCulley's living the dream. He's found what he loves. That just so happens to be something his family and most of his friends think he'll never be able to make a living out of. He's studying an advanced diploma of game design at the Academy of Interactive Entertainment. It's a long way from when he was studying the much more socially accepted commerce, but he was dreading every class he went to.
So I did consider a traditional job. I think it was about halfway through my degree. I was ready to drop out.
It was only through friends that he was opened up to the world of game design. His dream is now working for a game studio and maybe one day opening his own with some friends. Sam isn't alone in chasing his digital career when these jobs are growing in Australia. The Committee for Economic Development of Australia reports a demand for traditional blue-collar skills would be expected to decline while encouraging greater use for computers.
I think it's a passion, it's a lifestyle choice. The digital industry is getting so much bigger. And along with that, you need the creative side, you need the aesthetics to websites and posters and movies, films, games.
Jesspool teaches a work experience program at AE, one of the leading colleges in the country for game design. There are so many jobs that have a base in this kind of work, from educational simulations to games and mobile apps we use every day. And it's not just these creative industries that are becoming bigger. Every company who hopes to compete in this age needs a digital presence. Alex Anastasiou is finishing her study at UNSW this year. However, she has already been swept along by a digital career. She's social media manager for Network 10's morning show Studio 10 and knows that a digital team at a big corporation is growing as well.
It's becoming the framework for our future. It's a very misunderstood aspect of our world. I think people who don't understand it, and that's people of all ages, can find it dangerous, but I think there's really something quite beautiful in the fact that everyone can be connected. Digital is a hugely important thing for us. In the way that we communicate with each other, the way that we connect with each other.
All these jobs have a common misconception linking them. Many people out of the creative digital industry don't understand the prevalence of these jobs in our society or the career viability, as they all operate in a digital industry.
2-3 years ago, I would have had no idea that this was a job that I was going to get into. It's not something that ever occurred to me as being a real job. I was like, people work on Twitter and they post Facebook statuses. That's not a thing.
I think it's more about challenging the misconceptions that older people and older generations have. They didn't have these industries as strong as they are now back in their day. When I meet new people, you mention, I'm a game designer. Every response I've had so far is like, I didn't realise that was a job.
The CDEA also suggests that these jobs are growing at a faster rate than more traditional ones. Elaine Lally, researcher and lecturer in digital culture at UTS, believes there is a viability in these jobs, but you need the correct skill mix, something that is forever changing in the industry.
In a way, they're the kinds of jobs that have possibly been around for a while, but they're being changed because of so they require people to have different kinds of skills. We talk to people out in the industry about what kinds of changes they're seeing and what they're looking for. There's, a growing need for those kinds of skills.
Sam agrees, and he believes that as long as you work hard like anything, you're going to stand out from the crowd and be more successful in your career, as long as you know it's an option to start with.
It doesn't deter me. It's more you get out what you put in. So if you do a lot of stuff outside of uni, which I take online courses, just strengthening like coding and art and stuff.
However, as this industry is still growing in Australia, there is a big problem of funding. The government doesn't currently prioritise this area of innovation in its budget. The current $190 million funding seems like a lot, but in the UK, by comparison, they have invested $3 billion over the same period.
Senator Scott Ludlam for the Greens is doing an inquiry at the moment into the state of the Australian games industry. There's a fair few more colleges opening up. And AIE has actually just opened a second campus, which is already full for the next 2 years. People want to do it. Australia's a pretty creative country. Giving the kids the confidence to know that you can do this, there is a support base, and with the growing state of the industry, I think it's going to be a big focus in future years to come.
Larissa Shearman, That's Why.